Some places feel like people. For me, that place was the cottage at Rye Beach. My grandma passed away last July. It was sudden. I had just seen her the weekend before, brought a friend up to the beach, we had lunch, laughed. I never would have guessed that would be the last time I'd see her. She was our rock, the one who held everything together, and losing her felt like the whole structure collapsed. After she passed, a storm hit Rye Beach that winter. The cottage flooded, the pipes burst. We had to gut it. When I walked through it recently, I barely recognized it. Floors caved in, furniture tossed like driftwood. It broke my heart. It felt like losing her all over again. Maggie knew this grief too, as she was also her grandmother. But she also has watched Fry Island change over the years, modern houses rising over the old, untouched lakeside. She felt the loss of animals, of space, of peace. Nana watched her simple childhood give way to a more complicated world where respect for nature was no longer a given. We all lose places. We all hold on to the best we can.
They were very respectful of nature in the 50s and 60s when I was there, and different. They weren't aware of the problems you can have by not paying attention to the environment. Like we all had big incinerators, and you burned your rubbish. So I'm sure that added to problems with the air quality and that. But they didn't do it out of malice. That was convenient. That's how they got rid of the trash.
We were single-handedly destroying the planet. I didn't do any of this. Like, this was the people before me making stupid, selfish decisions. Like, animals don't do things out of malice or to be mean. Like, like you see a cat kill a mouse. It's not doing that because it hates the mouse. It's doing it because it's hungry. You see a human kill another human because they had a disagreement. Like, animals don't do things to be evil, but people do.
My grandmother would preserve foods, so it was a good lesson in not wasting. I try to have a resolve to separate all my throwaway and recycle things, and I tried for years never to use paper towel, and I was very successful with that until the COVID. And I broke down a little at the COVID, but I do try not to use paper towel because it's adding more unnecessary waste. Yeah.
I'm gonna be kind of selfish for a minute. I wouldn't want a bunch of other people finding out about Fry Island. Because I'm very protective of it, and there is a housing problem where people are building. You're not allowed to build any more houses on the island, and I think big marketing people are kind of just forgetting about how small Fry Island is and how much the animals need Fry Island just as much as we do. You can just keep building houses upon houses upon houses because there's going to be nothing left. I think the new houses are incredibly ugly. I think they're hideous because they're modern. And I'm like, this is a lake. You're supposed to have a lake house. Where are my Lincoln logs at? They kind of stick out like a sore thumb. You'll see an old Lincoln log house that's falling apart, or an old gray house that's it kind of looks Germanic, honestly, sometimes. That'll be covered in spiders, and then next to it, it's some weird modern Elon Musk-esque house. And nobody wants this here. There can be a limit. I think they're definitely trying to, because Fry Island is kind of this is going to sound awful, but it's kind of a white trash destination, honestly, which is fine, because, it's usually a lot of people who, live in campers, things like that, and I think that the surrounding towns have, noticed how, refreshing it is to be there, and they're like, well, we want to capitalize off of this, so let's make it more appealing to the rich so we can make more money.
Everything now is about money. Oh my God, everything's gotten blurred. There's reasons for the disharmony, I know, because there's such poverty and terrible racism and things we have to work on. Better educations for everybody. And
I think we definitely are going through a massive massive crisis with the environment. I think the amount of land loss we've had, and I think I definitely do. I'm not a very optimistic person.
I do feel optimistic because we have to keep the laws that we have established. He can't be a president longer than his 4 years now. And we have to, in the next election of the Congress, win back the Congress and temper him and say you can't do all these outrageous things and say these terrible, hurtful things that aren't so. You can't lie. Oh yeah, things have changed since I was younger. Yeah, well they keep talking about the polar melt.
Drill baby drill, I think is going to be the end of us.
And all of those things, it's getting more of a crisis to them, so we better listen.
We are single-handedly destroying the planet. I didn't do any of this. Like, this was the people before me making stupid, selfish decisions.
We have to have hope in our next generation. They're the hope.
What can you do right now?
I don't even really know. I don't even think I really can do it, which is terrible to say. I'm sure somebody will come along and think of something, but I think from now I'm just gonna, I've spent so much of my life putting my energy out into the world to try and help and better it, and nothing has worked, so I think it's time for me to be a little bit selfish and just think more about my life. I definitely have taken a step back from activism because I'm so tired. I don't want to fight anymore for something that's not going to happen. I don't really want to think about all that stuff. The world, like, I'm making the world better in my own type of way because I do want to go into law enforcement with police dogs and stuff like that, so I guess in my way, like, helping that corrupt system not be as hateful. But I just don't really see myself doing any more activism and stuff like that, which is terrible because I, like, probably like 5 years ago I would have been like, yes, definitely. But right now, just no, because I just feel defeated and I'm tired.
For me, the beach, it's still there. When I stand in the ocean, I feel my grandmother, in the breeze, in the warmth of the sun, in the sound of waves breaking. It feels like a hug. Even now, with the cottage empty, I still go. I still walk the boardwalk. I still listen to the surf. Because the places that love us don't leave us. Not really. What we lose doesn't always disappear. It becomes part of us, part of our identities. And maybe that's the legacy of the places we love. They echo in who we are. What part of your world do you still feel even after it's gone?